because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 61 yards.
They're coming off of back-to-back wins, and I think a lot of credit belongs to this guy right here because, to me, he's not only carried his weight, he's carried a few other guys along as well. He's helped draw defensive attention away from not just him, but open things up for his teammates, too. So if this winning streak is going to continue to have some legs to it, he has to remain effective and put together another nice game.
A first down there on a pickup of 25. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Open man is Waddle, complete. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. But now he appears to be in some pain. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the gun, it's Tua. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. We're scoreless after 1. They go option right on 2nd and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere.
Then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jeff Wilson, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Week 9 here in the National Football League. He'll have 9 weeks to go after this. We've got a couple of good matchups in prime time to wrap up the first half of the season. Tonight, Tennessee and KC in the AFC. And then tomorrow night, an interconference matchup. Baltimore and New Orleans from the Superdome. A running play on 1st down will get 4 up to the 29.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were two things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Throwing on third down, Fields. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
First down, and they'll try to run the option left. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs, and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
From the 17, Fields. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try and put his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Escaping the pressure right. Right side, Claypool's got it. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. So Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
You remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn? So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Tua now on first down. Flush to his right. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught by Waddle. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Second down at 4. And again, it's Tagovailoa. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hill. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Here we go. 45. White. Blue. Yellow. 47.
Tua sets up to pass it. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the line. Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On second down, Mostert. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On third down, here comes Mostert. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free.
Right?
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down and close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
From his own end zone, Fields under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety.
That's exactly what they were aiming for defensively. A huge early play that cuts off any opposing momentum at the knees. As soon as that snap was made, they were flying to the ball and through the line. Great call from the coaching staff and even better execution.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, the drive starts with Wilson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll run again with Wilson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4, 2nd down coming up.
Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Tua with a throw brought in by Hill. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. Tua going to try and throw for it. Eluding the pressure right. It's complete. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Now it's Fields. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And some room to work. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Wilson with a first down carry. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Alexander Johnson there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Malcolm Butler dialed the corner blitz and earned the sack. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Now a first down throw. Fields gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Fields. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. 4th down. Fields has to have this one. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
On first down, Fields. Montgomery, another target and catch. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down.
Let's go, team. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Fires the mic.
Throwing again is Fields. Completion here to Claypool. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. Touchdown! Cole Kmet, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bears are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Trying to run it in with Montgomery. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Being chased out left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And once he got out of the pocket, you thought that maybe he'd take off with it, especially here in the 2-minute drill. Sometimes defenses are focused so much downfield that there's room to run, but this time he decided.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Rolling to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Here's Tua. He is going to find Hill here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Here's Mostert.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Raheem Mostert,
his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to 23. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one's pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Dolphins, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bears, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a home.
I told my boys it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs it ain't no limit. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. I'm whipping in track, I was left up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like Travis Kelce, I be having emotions. Just like a lamb, I ain't know I'm exploding my heart. I ain't got emotions, I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running street, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it open. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Tryna win, I'm up in practice. I'm crazy, I just rolled the jersey. It's the first half, and we done dropped 30. We just up and scoring them, boy, man. I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with the band. Crowd going wild, dived in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I turn on my vision. You younger, she get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey, I told her to join my team. It's best you go where it's safe. You know how I play. I get to a sack like Frank. You can teach money to fly. I turn it a hop. I catch it and go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the lights. I'm shining so bright. It's visor to cover my face. You see me working and working. I'm getting it done. And soon they be feeding me grapes.
I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head
They
in the
screaming
game.
my name when I walk in the building. Yellow diamonds on me like I play for the Steelers. I'm in the field, yup, just like a Steeler. Oh, this your girl, my band had the Steeler. I hop on the beat and I float like a river. I caught a TD, yeah, right across the middle. I'm speaking facts, boy, you telling riddles. Can't hang with the gang, so let's go.
I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. Two turned up, turned down right now. Two don't make better get around right now. Hey, I'm two turned up, turned down right now. Two don't make better get around right now.
Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just laying you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game. They put me in, so I'm going.